Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and I have a simple Copic colored ATC card for you guys today. So let's get started. So to start, I took my stamp. This is the Brutus Monroe Stamp of the Month for March 2020. And I'm going to stamp it in Gina K amalgam ink. With my mini Misti, and just be aware that when you use this ink, so you're going to see as we color, I didn't let my ink dry before I started Copic coloring, and it did smear a little bit. Now normally it doesn't. This is a Copic safe ink. However, because I stamped it and got right into coloring right away because I was so excited by how cute the stamp was, that I didn't give it a little bit of a chance to dry before I started coloring. So just be aware that this ink totally works for Copic coloring, but give it a chance to dry or hit it with your heat tool to give it time to dry before you start Copic coloring. So this paper I'm using is the Hammermill 100-pound paper, and I have it cut down to the ATC size, which is 2.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to start right away into my Copic coloring. So to start, for the pig, I've got RV00, RV23, and RV55. And how I like to Copic color is I like to lay a base of my lightest color down, and then I go into shade with my mid color and then my darkest color. So in this case, the RV00 is my base color, so I'm going to lay a full layer of that down on everything that I feel is the pig. You're going to see that I missed the little legs under the pants. I will come back and do those later, but I did miss them when I started coloring this. So here I have the RV23, and I'm going to add shadows anywhere that there would be a shadow cast. So under the hat, behind the watermelon, I do a shadow under the nose, and then at the base of the ears. And then I'll work back out. So I'll do my mid-tone, and then, and also on the arms. And then I'll do a mid-tone, which is my mid-tone, sorry. And then I will come in with my darkest tone and just deepen up the shadows. I try to get the thinnest line I can with this marker. I find the Copics are very good with their end because they're quite pointy, the brush tip. So it's quite easy to get a good thin line. And then I'd like to bring my mid-tone back in and thicken up the line a little bit just to blend it. And then I always go back over with my lightest color just to kind of blend out my shades a little bit better and make them kind of mix in with the base color the best. So that's how I like to Copic color. There's no right way or wrong way. I do know some people can lay down the darkest color instantaneously, and that's just stunning. But sadly, I'm not great at finding where the shadow needs to be. I am learning that still, so I like to just kind of be a little bit cautious, be a little bit light in when I lay down my colors, and kind of blend them out and build them up a bit. And I find that the colors blend better when you do a base color, for me anyway. So that's how I like to do it. And then I'm going to move on. I did use C9 for the hooves of my pig. And then I believe we're going to do the watermelon. Yes, so we're going to do the rind first. So the watermelon is a G02 and a G16. Those will be two colors. Because this is such a small area, I chose to only do a 2-color blend. I mean, you can color however you like. Some people do 3, some people do 4. Some people do 1. That's perfectly okay. I mean, coloring's supposed to be fun, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, I just wanted to sit down and color. And then I thought that I would share it with you guys because this pig is so cute. The Brutus and Monroe Stamp of the Month Club, if you decide to sign up, they send out a new stamp every month. This is the March stamp. And I believe it's $5 American. I'm Canadian, so for me, I think it works out to be, with shipping, I think it's like $13 with the exchange rate and everything, or somewhere in that neighborhood. Totally worthwhile. I will have it linked down below. You can check out the Stamp Club. I think it's a great investment. You get these super cute little stamps in the mail every month. And I know this is going up on Monday, because I do videos every Monday, and I believe that's the last day of March for us, so if you wanted this stamp, you'd have to buy it now. But you can sign up and see whatever the next month's stamp is right away, and they're so cute and totally fun to get in the mail. I just love it. So the red part of the watermelon, I did an R05 and an R24. And then now we're on the hat, and I decided to do blues just because I like how pink and blue look together. So I have a B01, a B02, and a B04. Those are my colors for that. And then the pants, the ears, and the nose, I chose to go gray because I felt I had already pulled in a fair amount of color. So I wasn't sure what color to add, so I chose to just do a gray because I thought that would be a nice neutral. So for the pants, ears, and nose, I'm going to do the inside of the ears. I'm going to do a C0, a C3, and a C5. And I do have the caps on screen there so you can see whatever color I'm using every time I lay it down. But have you guys done any stamp clubs? I'd love to know what clubs you guys have joined. I'm also in the Simon Says Stamp Club, the kit of the month. I love those kits. I just got my March kit in, so I'm going to have to do, I think that'll be my next video. I'll do a card or a couple with that kit. Kit's just stunning. And you can see, like I go over the color. I do every Copic coloring the same. I've done quite a few Copic coloring videos now, I think. And I do... everything's the same. Base layer, mid-tone, darkest layer. So I work lightest to darkest, darkest to lightest, because I find that's just the easiest thing for me to do, and I'm still learning, and it's just kind of fun. So you're gonna see when we're gonna get close to the coloring being over here in a minute. I'm just finishing up on the pants, and I couldn't decide what to do. Originally, when I laid this out, I honestly thought that I was gonna do the pig, and then I might add some kind of ground underneath so that the pig wasn't just floating. And then I didn't like it. I really struggle with negative space in my designs. It's something I'm working on, but I have a really hard time with it for some reason. And I never seem to be able to just leave the negative space. I always have to add something. And something that I love to add is Distress Oxides. So I am going to do a bit of a Distress Oxide blended background. I'm just going to do one color, and I'm going to kind of fade it out. See here, you can see that I forgot the little legs underneath the pants, so I'm just coloring those in. And amazingly enough, in that little area, I did actually fit all three colors, which is kind of funny considering how small it is. So off camera, I stamped and fussy cut a mask. Now, I'm not quite sure what masking paper this is, but it's not good. It doesn't peel off well at all. And then when I stuck it down, I do finally get it unstuck here. You can see I'm struggling a little bit. But when I finally get it stuck down and I do my blending, when I lift it up, it left all the sticky on the pig. The whole pig was like the backing of this mask. So then I had to take my Xyron eraser, and I spent a bunch of time just trying to lift up all the stick that got stuck on there because of this mask. So for future, I would use the Gina K masking paper. I really enjoy that masking paper. So yeah, next time that's what I'm going to use, because it was bad trying to get it all off. So here you can see that I've laid down the mask, and then I've taken a blending brush, and I have, what is that? Dried Marigold in the Distress Oxide, and I just loaded up my brush, and I really wanted to do kind of a halo. When I saw this stamp, I felt like this pig was so excited about this watermelon, so I kind of tried to create a bit of a, like a happiness, and I know how funny that sounds, but I tried to create kind of like the person, like his aura, or the pig's aura of how excited he was about this watermelon. I know that kind of sounds silly, but I find yellows and oranges to be a very bright and cheery color, so that's kind of where I went with that. So I just did a subtle, I was trying for an ombre, which is why I'm using the brush, not a blending tool. I find it lays it down a little bit lighter. So I'm trying to get my deepest, darkest color around the pig, and then I'm kind of blending it out along the outside to give it kind of an ombre effect, and then the very outside is going to be a little bit lighter. It's kind of where I was thinking about this. And then I just keep adding color until I'm happy with it. And I think the blending brushes are great for that because they just make it so much easier. And then to add a little bit of texture to the background, I splashed a little bit of water on my fingers, and then I flicked it onto the background. And now you can see here I'm going to lift up the mask. And I don't know if you can really tell, but there's the glue is stuck to the pig here. That's why the paper didn't come off at all. So I didn't keep it in the video at all because it took me a long time to get all that stick off. But I took a Xyron eraser and like scratched the top of the paper off a little bit just to get that glue off. Oh, I don't know what that sticker or what that paper was, but it was not good. And then here I have taken some Nuvo crystal drops in Morning Dew, and I'm just putting little drops above the pig's head. Little excitement bubbles. It's kind of what I would call them. And I put a couple down in the bottom just to create a bit of a diagonal along the card there. It's just added texture, added fun in the background. I kind of like to add a little something to the card to make it a little bit more exciting. I love texture in my cards, so I have a tendency to add gems or add Nuvo drops or water droplets to the background. Sometimes I use splashes. And then here I took a wink of Stella in clear and just put some glitter on the watermelon and the inside of the ears, just to add a little bit of shine. And I'm going to lift the card up so that you can see the shine. It's difficult to see, sadly. In person, you could see it quite well, but the video sadly didn't really pick up the color. But I have to add shine to all the things. That's just how I like to do. But yeah, so that's the quick and easy card for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you guys again soon. I post every Monday, so if you'd like to subscribe and come back, I would love to have you. And thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.